welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks a lot for asking me. I'm looking forward to this a lot.
So first, could you tell me a little bit about your channel and why you started it?
Sure. Well, about 10 years ago in my life, I had been working really hard, and I built up a number of businesses and owned a lot of real estate, and I basically worked 7 days a week, pretty much 8 to 10 hours a day. And I thought I was succeeding, but my body was actually falling apart. I was about 25 pounds heavier than I am today, and it wasn't so much that I was fat per se, but I was soft and I didn't feel good a lot, and I got sick a lot, and my bones hurt. So I decided to try to focus on basics in life, which came down to health. I started watching a number of YouTube videos, and I watched, of course, Forks Over Knives, which was just a real turning point in my life. Yeah, I think everybody who sees that pretty much almost can change overnight, if not, within months. And read a lot of books, read the China Study, and I'm very into science. I'm very interested in evidence-based research that could show people how to live a better life. So anyway, the bottom line was I realized I needed to get the stress out of my life, and I needed to focus on health. So with that in mind, my wife and I sold our home and bought a 19-foot camper van. And been traveling now for almost 4 years. Been up and down the California coast, been throughout Canada and Nevada, and living in a tiny space. My kitchen now is 5 square feet. So living in a tiny space, it's really forced me to focus on what's important, meal to meal. So I figure with my channel, my website, my Instagram account, and so forth, I'd like to show people that if you live in an apartment, if you live in a house, you have no excuse for not eating properly. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. So that's just a little bit of background. I basically gave up everything. I sold all my possessions, and I'm loving it. Every day is a different day.
Wow, that is really amazing. That is such a wonderful story. I love what you're doing, and for the audience, we will be putting links down below to his YouTube and other social media, so you guys can follow him and check him out.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, Forks Over Knives was actually the first video that I watched. It's one of the classics. I recommend everybody watch it.
It's amazing.
Also with the China Study, I just took a class with E. Cornell.
Wow.
A certificate in that, so that is really awesome.
All right.
So one of the videos I saw on your channel was you skateboarding and doing some push-ups, and I thought that was really cool, so I wanted to just ask you what you do to stay fit, either what activities you do, or if you have an exercise routine.
Right. Well, every day for the past 10 years, I've started my day with yoga. I'm not yoga. I'm really not a member at all. I've never gone to a yoga class. I would embarrass myself that way. But I have my own routine, and I know what feels good to me, and I think it's a lot more important, and it's a good message for anybody looking for physical fitness, is it doesn't really matter how good you are at something, you have to be consistent. And if you're consistent at something, it's going to work and you're going to get benefits. So I haven't missed a day of yoga for at least 10 years, I'd say. It's how I start every day. I live in a 20-foot camper, and I have room to do yoga. I mean, I can't do every pose, but I have room to do the basic stuff. And I find I like waking up slowly, and I like letting my body, kind of wake up slowly. So that's how I start my days. I go to the gym and work out with weights at least 5 times a week. And in addition to that, I'm either outside running or surfing or swimming or doing something like that. So in addition to yoga, I'm doing at least an hour, hour and a half a day of something else, skateboarding or something fun.
That's really great. I know a very common misconception is that vegans can't build muscle.
Right,
They don't have meat protein.
Right. Where do you get your protein?
Right, so you're a perfect example that you can build muscle and do all of these things on a vegan diet.
Absolutely.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
So did you feel like it was harder to lift the weights or gain muscle, and how were you before and after going vegan?
Well, like I said, I was approximately 25 pounds heavier before I went vegan. And I had muscle, but it wasn't lean muscle, okay? It wasn't defined muscle. So, when you cut the fat out of your diet, when you cut the animal protein out of your diet, your lean muscle can't come through. The weights I find really work. And, I'm never going to be 200 pounds, but I'm my high school weight, and I'm going to be 65 years old next year. So, you can't beat that.
That is amazing. That is really impressive. And did you take any protein supplements or anything while doing this, or just pure plant foods?
Yeah, my vegan diet, like everybody else's, I'm not sure how long you've been vegan for, it's a process. And there was a time that I did take protein powder. I thought, I still had the protein, you need more protein kind of thing that they just beat into you. And it didn't really work. I mean, I might have gained 1 or 2 pounds, but it was such a, protein powder makes me feel so filled up, but not in a good kind of way.
Exactly.
So that was the kind of thing I got through. I mean, if people do, I think it's fine. But right now I'm just into whole food and fruits and vegetables.
Oh, yeah, and I really think that's all you need.
Yeah, I do too.
That is wonderful. So, what exactly do you eat in a day? Say a sample breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Right. That's a great question. Generally for breakfast, I'll have a bowl of oatmeal with whatever fruit I got around, strawberries or blueberries, bananas. I always throw flaxseed onto my oatmeal. Almonds, any kind of nuts I have around the house. I always make sure I try to have nuts around the house, almonds or walnuts. Peanut butter, I love to throw a dab of peanut butter into my oatmeal. So that's basically my breakfast. Probably 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm up very early, but I'm not hungry till about 9 o'clock, so I may have a banana before 9. Lunch is pretty much fruit, and pretty much fruit the rest of the day. A lot of bananas, especially in California. I need to hydrate a lot. I'm outside a lot, so I eat a lot of watermelon and papaya, that sort of thing. A lot of water-based fruits. And then for dinner, that's my big meal of the day. Rice and beans, lentils, potatoes. I just, the carbs. And I carve up the dinner and I throw in my greens at that time. So I guess if you had to put a label on what I'm doing, it's basically the raw to all four deal. With the exception of the oatmeal, of course, in the morning. But I've tried mixing it up. I've tried having rice and beans for lunch. And it's just so filling for me. I'm so active after rice and beans and heavy carbs. I just want to lay down and go to sleep.
Right. So it seems like you're eating mostly high carb and pretty much raw tofu every day with the exception of oatmeal, and you've got lots of fruit in there. And I saw a little protein with the nuts and peanut butter.
Correct.
So,
that's basically it. Yeah, and I don't worry about the protein. I just don't worry about
me
it.
neither. I think people over worry about that all the time. And
they really do.
Really get all the protein we need from pure fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely.
So what kind of foods were you eating before you went vegan, and was it a hard transition?
Okay, that's a great question. No, I had I had a standard American diet. I mean, I grew up eating meat 3 times a day, basically. I mean, I remember in high school, I would get up in the morning and I'd have to make my own breakfast. And I remember making sausage, bacon, and eggs, and toast with butter on it every single morning, every morning. And then for lunch, some kind of weird sandwich meat, and then for dinner, more meat. So, um, I had a traditional American diet, standard American diet. It wasn't a hard transition for me. The hardest thing actually for me to give up was cheese. I love cheese, and that was the hardest thing for me to give up. But like I said, I'm totally science oriented, and if somebody gives me hard science about cheese, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to digest it. I'm going to go, okay, what do I need this for? So that basically was my diet, just like everybody else, and it wasn't really a hard change for me at all.
That's great. And you mentioned you had a wife. Is she also vegan?
Basically, getting there. It's a process for everybody, and I don't know about you, Jen, but it seems like convincing family and friends is the hardest thing to do. I mean, seriously, I have more luck talking to strangers in this coffee shop here about what I'm doing and the science and stuff than I do people that are my family.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like
I guess that's how it is.
Yeah. So, how many years have you been vegan as of today?
I'd say right now it's 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. 8 years.
Wow. So I've been vegan for about 2 years and 8 months, almost 3 years.
Good for you. What made you change and go vegan?
Yeah, I actually started off watching that same documentary, Forks Over Knives. I actually went vegetarian first because I thought vegan was too extreme, but I'm always like, if I'm going to do something, I want to research it and I want to know about it. So in researching, there was no way I could continue being vegetarian. I had to be vegan. I did it for my health mostly, for all the health benefits, and also doing it for animal cruelty and environmental reasons. But definitely the research about the health benefits is what really got me.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because that's exactly how it was for me. It was entirely health oriented. Mm-hmm. But there's something about being vegan changes you psychologically. It changes you somehow spiritually, I think. And the exact same thing happened to me, because over time I became more and more aware of the animal cruelty, and I became more and more aware of the environmental problems with meat production. So even though I started doing it for health reasons, one of the side benefits is it's made me very sensitive about stuff. I mean, the animal rights thing is it's so horrifying to me. I can't even watch these videos on YouTube anywhere about what's being done. I can't even watch it. It makes me sick to my stomach.
I had no idea what was even going on. So going vegan really opened my eyes to all of this.
Absolutely. So I mean, I focus on the health thing because I figure that's really where you can talk to people about their own health. You can't talk about their own health. What are you going to do?
Exactly. Okay, so Steve, I have seen that you had psoriasis and also severe arthritis from a motorcycle incident. So do you want to share a little bit about your experience with that and how being vegan has helped you?
Right. Well, approximately 10 years ago, my doctor said, and by the way, this was the last time I was at a doctor. It's been over 8 years. He told me that, I've had I used to do motorcycle stunt riding. And so, I have a lot of crashes from motorcycle wrecks, and my body's kind of tweaked in different places that didn't heal right and so forth. So anyhow, the doctor said I can have scoliosis, which is a curvature of the spine, okay, and severe arthritis because of my motorcycle wrecks. And at the time, he recommended surgery for me. So that actually was one of the reasons why I started doing my own health research. I didn't want to have surgery, and I wanted to figure out exactly what was going on, what I could do myself without doing surgery and taking pills and that kind of thing. So as it turns out, as with most, if not all, health issues, it's diet. And diet, it can't cure arthritis. It can't cure scoliosis. But I'm at the point where, because of my diet and because of my exercise routine, I hardly even realize I have it most days. I mean, I know I have arthritis, but unless I like really hit my elbow hard against the wall or bang my fingers or something, I don't even notice. And so I totally credit diet with that because, like I said, they wanted to operate on me. So even though certain I can't do certain movements and so forth at the gym that maybe I did 20 years ago, hey, big deal. I've kind of had an active life, and the fact that I'm doing this without pills, I'm really happy. So it's all diet.
That's wonderful, and I think that's great. I think a lot of people take medication and pills and undergo surgery when really they can just change their diet and see how that works for them. But
So
no one really gives it a chance. So.
yeah. I just wanted to say something about meat specifically, and diet and inflammation because whether you have arthritis or knee pain or any kind of pain, it's all related to inflammation. Okay, and real quick about it's very acidic. Okay, it's probably about the most acidic thing that people can eat. Now, your body apparently always has to stay in a balanced pH level. And in order to balance its pH, if you're eating something acidic, your body's going to be looking around for something alkaline to balance it out immediately. And the closest thing it can find is the calcium in your bones. So it's leaching calcium out of your bones, and that's one of the reasons why people's joints hurt and so forth. So, real simple tip: if you got arthritis or if you got any kind of joint pain, back pain, give up the meat already. It will make a big difference.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna end with the last question. So
Okay.
my channel is mostly for aspiring vegans, and I
Right.
know a lot of older folks, they feel like it's too late for them to go vegan, they can't really
Right.
make a difference now. So what advice would you give to new vegans or new aspiring vegans?
First of all, I would say go easy on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's not a race, and it is a process. And there's going to be some days that you feel like you totally blew it. There's going to be some weeks that it's going to be so busy you can't get your food down right or whatever the deal is. So you have to understand it's a process. I mean, if it takes a month, if it takes years, it doesn't matter. The thing about a vegan lifestyle is it's actually that. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet per se. So for those who make that commitment, it's very important to realize this is a long-term commitment. Excuse me. So that's the best advice I can give. Go easy on yourself. Plus, continue doing research because the more you do research, the more it's going to encourage you. And the other thing I would say too is do your own research. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to Jen. Don't listen to any doctor you say. Do your own research because the information is out there, and people need to feel comfortable that they're doing the right thing for themselves.
Thank you. I think that is wonderful advice. I completely agree. It's easy to tell someone, hey, go vegan, it's good for your health, but until you
Right.
do the research yourself and you are convinced yourself, it's not going to happen. So,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. What a great note to end on. When I saw you, I knew I had to interview you. So thank
Thanks,
you so
man.
much. This means so much to me. I hope we have inspired a lot of people who are watching this video to go vegan and do some research for themselves. So thank you so much. I'm happy to have you on my channel.
Thanks, Jen. Happy to be here.
Bye.
Anytime. Bye-bye.